Hi, and welcome to this episode of Victory Talk with Latasha White. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. It is now the very last Victory Talk of 2020. I cannot believe it. My gosh. And thank y'all so much for rocking with me all year and being able to, get a few nuggets that have helped you shift your perspective or add value to your life in any kind of way. I really appreciate you tuning in. I really appreciate your feedback and just allowing me to be the voice that, has been able to speak to you week after week after week after week. So this week is no different. I have another message, and this victory talk is going to be titled Scared to Prepare. Why would I say scared to prepare? And that's a question mark. Are you scared to prepare? Or is it a statement? You are scared to prepare. Which is it? Does somebody else need to tell you that you're scared to prepare? Did you know that you were scared to prepare? Did you know that you weren't moving forward because you're stifled in fear? That you're stuck in a place of not wanting to make more plans, not wanting to write anything down and say, what can this vision look like? Because likely things that you wrote down in 2020 didn't happen the way that you thought. Things didn't go the way that you thought they were going to go. You had this whole plan of 2020 vision and, what that was going to look like. And might I offer you that you still got 2020 vision. You got the opportunity to shift your perspective and look at things a little bit differently. You got the opportunity to say, hey, this didn't work, but what can work? To be able to get resourceful within yourself and just really figure things out. So just because you don't write it down, just because you don't prepare, doesn't mean that it's not still supposed to happen. When you fail to plan, you plan to fail. We know that. And so what is it within you that you need to get ready for execution? 2021 is coming, true enough. There is no magic that's going to happen with the flip of the calendar. I already told you guys that. But what are you planning to have happen? And that's all going to start with you, right? That's going to start with what's within you. That's going to start with your own self-leadership. That's going to start with the things that you've grown through this year to be able to apply for next year so that you can show up differently, so that you can say, I have a whole new outlook on how things can go and how things should go. And so I am going to be about my Father's business, and I am going to put these things in place so that I can start to do them. Maybe it doesn't look exactly like you thought it was going to look 5 years ago. That whole 5-year plan when it was 2015, maybe you thought 2020, by the 2020, I'm going to X, Y, and Z, and it hasn't happened. But guess what? You need to go back to the drawing board, figure out if that's really what was supposed to happen, or if it just sounded like a good idea or something that somebody else did that you saw, and you're like, oh yeah, that looks good. Let me go do that. Your assignment is your assignment. And so don't be scared to prepare. We're not given a spirit of fear. We're given a spirit of love and of power and of sound mind. And so given that, you are required to use your gifts for other people and be the beneficiary of them for yourself. So what are you gifted in that you're hoarding all to yourself? What are you gifted in that you haven't been able to, maybe not been able, you just haven't utilized in a way that you've been called to fully? Don't be scared to prepare. What if the opportunities come and you're not prepared? That's what you should be scared of, because the opportunities are still going to come. We're all still living life. We're living it a little bit differently than what we thought we would. We're living it, in a space of time that nobody's ever seen before. But that could also mean that opportunities are coming in a space and time that we've never seen before. And so are you prepared for them? Have you been able to, utilize the time that you've been given back this year to put some things in place so that you are prepared for when they come? And no, they're not magically coming because it's going to be 2021, but it is going to be a new year. It is going to be a fresh start. And what is that going to look like for you? Don't let life happen to you. Don't let it just happen. Things are going to happen. What can you control? Control the controllables. I say that all the time. What is within your control that you can still plan, that you can still execute? Maybe it's a business that you've been given that you haven't birthed yet. Maybe it's a book that you're supposed to write that you haven't written. Maybe it's something that you need to say to someone that you haven't said. Maybe it's a conversation that you need to have with someone else that you haven't done. I mean, it doesn't have to be something huge and crazy and, big hairy idea. What it does need to be is the thing that you're supposed to prepare and do. So, what does that look like for you? If you're not able to dig within yourself and figure that out, what am I going to say next? I am going to say, reach out to me. That is my area of giftedness. I am called to be able to help you shift your perspective, dig within you, figure out what is that thing that's been lying dormant, and get it into action. That's what I'm called for. And so it doesn't make sense at all to me to try to do it all on your own. You haven't done it up to this point, so you're still not likely going to do it if you're trying to do it in your own strength. That's why we have other people to be able to use their gifts to help us be able to see things differently than what we can see them for ourselves. So that's what I want to leave you with. Y'all know how to reach out to me, LatashaWhite.com. Email me at info@LatashaWhite.com. If you just have a question, if you have a statement, if you're like, I don't get anything you were talking about, my life looks like this, and I don't have a clue how it could look any different. That's when you get to reach out. I know that people are afraid to. They're like, oh, how much is it going to cost me? There is nothing that I've said that's going to cost you. It's not going to cost you anything to email me. It's not going to cost you anything to contact me through my website. It's not going to cost you anything for a 30-minute complimentary consultation. All it's going to cost you is your time and you to be able to stand up for yourself. So thank you again for tuning in every week this year. And I look forward to being able to serve you in 2021 and go be the difference that you want to see.